Hey guys, in this video I want to talk about reps for hypertrophy training and rest times for a metabolic and anabolic spike during your training. Hey guys, first I want to talk about reps for hypertrophy training. Now, the truth is that you can create hypertrophy in any rep range, from 1 to 30 reps. The thing is when it comes to hypertrophy training, volume is probably the most important factor in designing a training program. And you have to be able to increase volume as time goes on. So this is either done through sets or reps as far as increasing volume. Now, the problem with going with a lower rep range of 1 to 5 is you start getting into the heavy loads where you're taxing the type 2 muscle fibers, putting a lot of stress, exhausting those fibers, along with the central nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. So when you start doing that in a training program and you're trying to create a lot of volume for hypertrophy growth, then it will really limit your progress. So the best rep range to stick in is anywhere between 6 and 30 reps. So with knowing that of 6 to 30 reps, then you have to sit back and say, okay, well, what rep range do I want to be in? Now, of course, if you did all 20 to 30 rep sets, you'd be in there for 3 hours with the amount of volume you want to get. And not only because of volume, but the time to get through 20 to 30 reps. If you did a 6 to 10 rep all the time, you would be so fried that you would get diminishing returns after a period of time, overtraining, because you'd constantly be taxing yourself on heavy loads. So designing a program, if you're a beginner, you would want to stay probably within the 10 to 15 rep range to start off with. Now I'm going to post one of my workouts, one of my chest workouts, chest and tricep workouts on the video here, and I'm also going to put it down below for you. So you can kind of see as I'm talking here, then at the end you can kind of look over the workout and you can say, oh, I see what he's doing. So the way I design my training program is, and you should all design your own program if you're not going to buy one, because it's very important to know what you're going to do before you go in the gym. Just had to throw that out there. Now, designing a program, the way I look at it is compound movements. Most of the bigger muscles, compound movements, chest, deadlifts, squats, cable rows, things that are hitting large muscles, back, chest, legs, they are mostly type 2 fiber dominant. So they can handle the heavy load scene, which would be between 6 and 10 reps. So on most of my compound movements, when I'm doing compound movements, I have in my program 6 to 10 rep range. On biceps, triceps, more of the muscles you can isolate, cable pushdowns, preacher curls, dumbbell curls, seated dumbbell curls. Whenever you start standing in a dumbbell curl or a barbell curl, you kind of turn it into a compound movement because you're using all kinds of different parts of your body. So I'm talking about isolation movements, isolating the muscle. Rep ranges on those can be anywhere between 10 and 30. But like I said, to save time, you want to kind of mix it up. So the way I do it is I do a lot between the 8 and 15 rep range, or 8 and 12, and very little in the 20 to 30 rep range. But I have the 20 to 30 rep range in every workout I do. I do one metabolic exercise, especially if I am focusing on one muscle, because there's two forms of hypertrophy. There's myofibrillar hypertrophy, which is muscle growth, and then there's sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. This is where the liquid cells that can actually grow and expand over time, and that is done usually from metabolic stress. So I like to do, and I've gotten great gains off of having at least one exercise of a 20 to 30 rep, 3 sets, in each one of those sets going straight through burn. You have to take it. You can't stop when it just starts to be uncomfortable. You have to take it to that failure point in order for those type of workouts or that exercise to actually work. Now on the other sets, our muscle fibers are not just type 1 and type 2. So I know we use that in the industry when we're talking about this all the time. Everybody's familiar with type 1 and type 2 fibers. They've heard it somewhere. But they've discovered there are mid-range fibers. So there might be a type 1A, type 1B, type 2A, type 2B. So basically you have type 2 fibers on one end, you have type 1 fibers on the other, and then in the center you have actual mid-range fibers. So when you're thinking about the muscle and you're thinking about your training, you want to get as much fiber recruitment as possible, because the muscle is not just one modality of one fiber. It activates off of one type of load. So it's good to actually throw in the different load ranges as far as rep ranges. And weight is going to be distinguished by rep ranges. So if you pick a 6 to 10 rep range, or 6 to 8, which you consider a heavy set or heavy load, to get to that rep range and actually be fatigued to the end of that rep range, the weight's got to be kind of heavy. So you can't be light. And you shouldn't be finishing those exercises saying, okay, I did 6-10 reps, and then get up and then walk away and be able to actually sit back down, lay back down, and actually do 6 or 10 reps in 10 seconds again. So you know the weight is way too way too light. And that actually coincides with every one of these movements and every one of these rep patterns, basically. If you pick a rep pattern, you want to make sure that when you're going through the movement, you are doing these reps and you're taking these things through fatigue to an RIR of 3, 2, or 1, which means reps in reserve, to where you get that point where you can't do anymore. Don't have to do everything to failure, and I don't suggest to do everything to failure, because failure will fry you if you do too much of it. But I do to failure on the higher reps metabolic stress workout. So I always go to failure one time during a workout at least. So rule of thumb. Now on to the metabolic and anabolic activations through rest times. So rest times to create an anabolic and metabolic spike while hypertrophy training. So I got this idea a while back when I was designing my program, when I was researching a lot of the actual natural genetic lifters that stayed lean while in a surplus, and watched and looked at the way they all trained. Now, I say that because I was very picky, because there's a lot of guys that are on steroids. There's a lot of guys that are enhanced. But I took the good and the bad. I took information that suited me as a natural lifter, and I tried many different concoctions, read studies. I call them concoctions, but I read different studies on how long you needed to rest for hypertrophy training and growth during different rep ranges, and I boiled it down to 2 different time settings for the rep ranges. And if you stay on these times throughout your workout with no more than 33 minutes of rest in between sets, from going from bench press to dips to cable flies, 3 minutes. And if you stay on the rep range or the rest times through these rep ranges, you will create a metabolic and anabolic spike that will be unbelievable. I'm actually gonna, like I said, I'm gonna put my workout down below. It's gonna have the rest times. Give it a try. It's a chest workout and chest and triceps. Give it a try. You will be sweating your ass off and sweating after your workout and feeling really damn good at the end of it. So here it is. Rest times. Any sets that are 11 reps or higher, you rest 1 minute. So that means you're back on the bar in 1 minute. And then any rep ranges that are any lower than 10 reps, you can rest up to 2 minutes. I'd say 1.5 to 2 minutes. So it all depends on how you feel. Sometimes you can be doing, if you're more fast switch dominant and you're doing heavier sets, some people recover a lot quicker than others. Most of us in society are 50-50 as far as fast and slow twitch fiber recruitment. So I'm given 2 minutes, but a minute and a half is fine. You're still going to create hypertrophy and growth. So hypertrophy is volume and intensity. This not only brings up your intensity, it also allows you to focus and be driven by a timer, by something. If you don't have a partner, if you don't have a trainer, that timer will be your partner, will be your trainer. And it'll be yelling in your ear, screaming in your ear when the time clock came to that 60 seconds or that 2 minutes to jump back on that bar, get back to work, and create more growth. So these are my little tips for you. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you enjoy the workout. If you do give it a try, please leave a comment afterwards. Let me know how you did. If you have any questions on it, leave a comment down below. Please like and subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to start delivering more and more. I think in a month I'm going to be going into a caloric deficit, and I'll be talking more about dropping into that deficit for fat loss and maintaining muscle and everything. This is Dave from Mission to Muscle. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time on the channel.